Okay, let's talk about table numbers in the dining room. We have 3 rows of tables. This is the tens row, so it starts with number 10, 11, 12, 13. This row, 20. 20s are 20, 21, 22, 23. And the third row over here are the 30s, 30, 31, 32, 33. So we have opportunities to adapt the number of tables in the dining room. Basically, the rule will stand that that's always 10s, this is always 20s, this is always 30s, regardless of how many tables are in the row. Okay, so you know the table numbers. Now, each seat at each table has a seat number so that you know who to give what food to based on what they order. So the seat numbering system is pretty simple. As you can see, all these tables are turned on the diagonal. Each table points towards the kitchen, which is right behind the camera. So our rule is seat 1 is always that side of the table. All right, that way is the front of the building and that way is to campus. So we'll call it the campus side. So seat 1 begins on that side of the point. 1, 2, 3, 4. On this table, here's the point. Seat 1, seat 2, seat 3, seat 4. This is our standard numbering system. So when you take orders from guests at their tables, you take it based on seat number. And we will input it into our POS system using the seat number. And when we deliver the food out from the kitchen, we will know exactly who's getting what. So use seat numbers. Okay, so we're going to figure out how to put the order into the POS system to send it to the kitchen. So POS means point of sale. So this is where we're going to tell the kitchen what the guests want. And from this input, we'll also be able to print a guest check for them. So when it's time for them to pay, they would know how much it would cost. So first thing you'll do is just walk up and touch the machine. If you see a gray box like this, just touch it anywhere to make that go away. All right, students, you would log in using your login code. So let's use this one, 5101. I have that programmed for one of the students. 5101. Okay, so there it is. I won't tell you his name, but there he is, Jamie. So we're going to clock in by hitting clock in, and now we're ready to go. So what you have here is a picture of the dining room. It's asking you to pick which table we want to serve. So let's say we are serving table 20. All right, so you're going to just hit 20. Now it's asking for a question. It's asking you a question here. How many guests? So we're going to pick the number of guests. 4. Okay. Now, if you look over here, it says seat 1. It's asking you to put in the order for seat 1. Now, if you've worked in restaurants before, you know that there are multiple hundreds of screens. In this little restaurant, one screen, this one. So it's asking for seat 1. So we have to tell the kitchen what they're going to have. Now, if you remember that menu that we set the tables for, everyone gets a salad. Then they get a choice of 5 or 6 main courses. So that's what we're going to figure out. So here are the questions right here. Top question. It says salad or no salad. If they don't want salad, they don't have to have it. So we're going to say salad. And it lit up right here. Now we're going to have to tell them which main course for seat 1. And let's say they're ordering the pork chop. Hit pork. And that's it. Now I'm ready to put in seat 2. So I have to hit the button that says next seat. Salad, and let's call that pasta. Their items in. Next seat. Let's say no salad, because they don't want any. Fair enough. And crab and mushroom. And then seat 4, I would hit next seat. Salad for them. And they ordered the trap, so we're going to hit trap. Now before I send this to the kitchen, I make sure I have my 4 entrees, pork, pasta, crab and mushroom, trout. That's it. And then I just hit done. And done sends it to the kitchen. So it's currently printing so the chefs know what to make. Now, later on when it's time for us to give them a guest check so they can pay. I'm going to go back into the system, log in with my code 5101, okay? And I'm going to find my table. It's the all new one lit up in green. That's mine. And I'm just going to hit print. And print is going to give me a guest check that they can pay. Now, the printers in the dining room are always quieter than the loud printers in the kitchen. They print a more fine-looking copy, but the kitchen printers are loud on purpose sometimes so the staff can hear the orders come in. So this is what the check looks like. On the screen, it just said pork or trout, but on the guest check itself, we write the descriptions a little bit better. So we would present them with this check in a nice guest check holder, which I don't seem to have in that drawer right there. We would put this in a nice guest check holder, and when they're ready to pay, we would collect their credit card and run that through the machine. So that's how you go ahead and use the POS system. Very simple. If you ever want to come and play with the POS system or utilize it or practice on it in the dining room because you're taking this class online, just let me know. I'm happy to come up and let you run through there and see how it works. And now we're done. All right, so you punch in the order under Jamie's number, and up it printed, and here we have it. So this is what's coming up in the kitchen. It has his number, it has his table number, and it says 4 guests. So the chef knows there better be 4 main courses here, or else he or she can come check with the dining room manager and make sure we didn't miss something. Okay? And it's broken down like this. Seat 1, salad and pork. Seat 2, salad and pasta. Seat 3, no salad, and the crab mushroom, and then seat 4, salad and trout. So this comes up in the kitchen, and then the chef knows what to tell the students that are cooking, what to make. So this is the way it goes. They have this nice little clip to hang it on so they can keep track of what's happening, and then when it's time to serve the food, they know when Jamie comes in the kitchen and calls out table 20, the chef knows what to put up. All right? So this loud printer prints it out, kitchen picks it up and screams, "Order in!" Because that's the way it goes. Okay, so we're here in the kitchen. This is the front line. This is the part of the kitchen where the students will be preparing the meals just before they go out into the dining room. So a lot of the preparation is done in the back kitchens, but this would be the frontline kitchen. So this is where the servers would come, pick up the entrees, or soups, or appetizers, whatever's coming out of the hotline for delivery to the dining room, which you can see is right behind me. So normally what would happen here is the chef, the instructor, or possibly a student in charge for the day would sort of work right here. And all the students that are actually plating the meals would work in the back there on the various types of equipment. So for you, a student, your role would to be come from the dining room with your tray when you're ready for your main course. Put your tray in these nice tall tray stands and let the chef know what you're here for. And the proper statement would be something like, "Please pick up table 10." And the chef would respond that he heard you or she heard you. And now you just wait your turn and they'll get you your food when it's ready. So we have a variety of different shaped and sized plates that you may get your food served on. So depending on how many people you have to serve and how big these plates are, means you may not get all of the plates that you need on one trip. If that's the case, you simply get a classmate to help you, because we use some of these nice large plates. Generally speaking, we don't have tables bigger than 4, and you should be able to fit all 4 main courses on this tray. Okay, so now you have your tray loaded with your entrees. It's nice and safe, nothing's going to fall off. Now it's time to carry it out to the dining room. A lot of students get very nervous about carrying these trays, but it's a pretty simple process. Pick it up and don't drop anything. So these are nice and high, so it makes it a little bit easier for you. The proper method would be to slide this off the bars, get it up on your shoulder or near your shoulder. It's okay to carry with two hands and just head into the dining room, keeping it level. We don't spend a lot of time on students learning to carry in the perfect manner. We mostly want them to be comfortable and safe. So as long as the tray is somewhat up, that's acceptable for our class. Not necessarily for the industry, but that's something you would learn working at a hotel pretty quickly because you would carry dozens per day. One unacceptable way to carry trays would be to have it just here in front of you like this. Very amateurish, very unsafe, and you take up a lot of floor space. So this isn't something we would allow you to do, carry like this. We'll teach you to get it somewhat up, okay? If you're nervous, tell your instructor. We'll make sure you get the right training before you commit to carrying expensive food out of the kitchen. Okay, so I picked up my main courses, and I'm going to serve the guests now. So the way it works is your tray goes to the tray stand and stays here, and then you bring the plates to the table one at a time. Now, I know you have two hands, and you think, why not two at a time? But when you get here with two plates, if that water glass is right there, you don't have anywhere to put the plate. So they would have to actually move it for you. And that's not why people come to restaurants, to help us work. They come here to be taken care of. So you're going to bring them over one at a time because we're at a fine dining place. So I'm going to pick it up, the first person who I'm serving, let's assume seat one is a lady. I'll be serving her main course first. I'm going to come and get it. I'm going to serve it from her left, or to her left, from the left, with my left hand, okay? So, pick up the plate. Try and keep my thumb off it as much as possible. Here's your pasta, ma'am. There it goes. I'm going to serve seat 4 because that's another lady. So I'm going to pick up this plate. I'm going to bring it to seat 4 and serve it from the left or to their left with my left. There is your steak. And then the gentleman at the table, assuming there's two gentlemen here, it doesn't matter which order I serve it in. Sir, there's your pasta. Enjoy that, please. And I'll bring out my last entree to the other gentleman at the table. Serve it from the left with my left. There you go, sir. Pork chop. Enjoy your lunch, ladies and gentlemen. So serve from the left with your left. That's how we get the food down. Tray stays over there. So now while they're eating, this tray will stay here because this is where we're going to put the dirty dishes later when they're done eating. Okay. All the dishes and red plates and silverware that they use are all gone. And I only went around the table one time, and I never reached across anybody. So even though I said clear from the right, some things you have to take from their left. So you never reach across a person to get that bread plate. But I was able to do that in one cycle without having to go around and around and around again. 2 or 3 more things I would be taking away at this point. Any butter, they probably have a bowl of butter, that would go. And a bread basket, that would go too. So I would look for those and get them. And any other junk that I might see, like a wrapper from a straw. They may have used a straw for iced tea and left a clear wrapper on the table. If I see that, I will grab it. And I may find some empty sweet and low packets or something if they put some of that in their tea. And if I see that, I would grab it now, not to come back and make a special trip for it. So that's the clearing. Okay? Clear from the right with your right, except for the things that are on the guest's left. Looks nice and clean.